Beautiful.
Oh,
The second one.
oh, you hear that sound? Oh, that sound breaking Asian people heart everywhere. That sound caused so much fear in Uncle Roger's heart.
Today we're gonna see how Gordon Ramsay makes a steak and eggs with Uncle Roger. And of course, we're going to be wearing the same type of shirt as Uncle Roger as well. So before we get going today, guys, be sure to like the video down below and subscribe if you do happen to enjoy it, and check out my culinary course if you haven't done so already. Now, let's get started.
Gordon Ramsay make egg fried rice so good. Uncle Roger call him Uncle Gordon. But then he go and mess up ramen. Hiya, I take that title away from him. This time, Gordon making steak and egg in the middle of some golf course. Let's see how he do.
Oh, this looks like it's going to be a good video today. Gordon, for some reason, a few years ago, was doing all these outdoor adventures, cooking in all these different places all over the world. And today, he's in Texas. So let's see how he makes his steak and eggs.
Right, when in Texas for breakfast, brunch, or even lunch, or even dinner, trust me, steak and eggs. But this is steak and eggs with a twist.
Last time he cooked in middle of nowhere when he in Indonesia. Now he cook in middle of nowhere when he in Texas. Hiya, Gordon. Next time you travel, remember to book hotel.
I love steak and eggs, and it's been a while since I've had it. Let me know down below, guys, what is your favorite thing to have in the morning? Is it steak and eggs, scrambled eggs, omelets? Let me know what you like to eat in the morning down below.
I'm using the most amazing bone-in ribeye. So when I say
Ribeye, good cut.
of the highest order, and we know the Texas Longhorns have to be the best cattle anywhere in America.
Now, to make steak and eggs, you don't need to get a ribeye. If you guys aren't from the US, then you probably have a different cut than what this is. This is a ribeye, it comes from the rib section, but you don't have to necessarily go out and just buy this cut to make steak and eggs. If you have an entrecote, you can use an entrecote. If you have a New York sirloin, you can use that as well. It doesn't really matter. And here in Spain, beef is not as popular, so they use pork a lot more. And here, what they love to use is Ibérico Secreto. It's a secret cut of the pig. This will make a delicious steak and eggs. You don't have to use beef, you can also use pork.
See, you can see so much of the white fat running everywhere through inside. Yo, it's gonna be delicious, this one. Technical term for this is called marbling. But Uncle Roger just called this steak with lot of fat. Life too short for technical bullshit.
Ooh, Uncle Roger has been studying. Uncle Roger's right. The fat inside the meat is called marbling, and normally this is why when we're looking at steaks, the more expensive steaks tend to have a more evenly distributed form of fat in it, like with the Wagyu type of meat, which is very expensive. The more marbling that it has, normally it means the better quality meat it is. And when I mean marbling, I mean that the fat is literally integrated with the muscle. It's not just blobs. If you have any blobs of fat in any cut that you get, more often than not, you have to cut it out because you don't want to just eat the fat. But if it's integrated, if it's marbling, it's delicious.
Okay.
Dry rub good?
So we lightly salt both sides.
Correct. Always salt steak before you cook, or even better, use MSG.
Don't use MSG, use salt. There are many different ways on cooking a steak. Gordon today is going to be using a dry rub, which literally means that he's taking spices and other herbs, and he's going to be putting that on the steak to then cook it. You could omit that and just cook the steak if it's like a very delicious steak, but the dry rub, especially with other cuts of meat that are not as tasty, will make the steak delicious.
We get this beautiful rub. Now I've got a teaspoon of coffee.
Coffee, okay.
Paprika.
Ancho chili good, paprika good.
Now I've got a teaspoon of coffee.
Coffee not common ingredient, but actually nice touch because it gives the steak good bitterness. Remember niece and nephew, salt okay, never put pepper on steak before cooking because pepper burn too easily. You're gonna be eating steak with burnt pepper. Hiya, who want that?
I am actually with Uncle Roger in this, and my philosophy is not to use cracked pepper or fine pepper on a steak before you cook it, especially on an open flame. And what can happen on an open flame, especially with cracked pepper, is that you can burn it easily. And if you burn black pepper, it can add a bitterness to whatever you're cooking, and it's not tasty. Then again, this is a big debate with a lot of chefs, and a lot of important chefs as well. Some say do it, some say don't. The thing though about the coffee, that isn't as common, although coffee is an ingredient that you can use. It's used actually quite a bit in pastry. The savory kitchen, it depends on what you want to use it with. The paprika, this is common, especially here in Spain, which is called pimentón. They love it.
And we just literally push that down in. Take off the cooling wire for now and push that down.
Correct. Treat dry rub like how Uncle Roger treat all my emotion. Push that down. Auntie Helen, who? This is how you get through life. You push it down and then get therapy later. If you can't afford therapy, just take it out on your children.
You know, the sad thing is that it's kind of like reality. It happens more often than not that everyone just keeps all the emotions down and then, you know, you take it out any which way you can.
James, yes. At least come back and send the fucking thing. Yes, yeah. Because right now this whole fucking thing's on my shoulders.
And what I'm trying to do now is just flatten that beautiful.
Flatten good, make it cook more evenly.
How quick it's melting. Now, the secret there is I've got all that flavour pressed in.
Hiya, Gordon, no need to touch so lovingly. This steak, not Sofia Vergara.
Well, you can't say that Gordon is hands-on, but I would say that Jamie is a little more handsy than Gordon. And I don't mean that in a bad way. I mean that they just like to play with the food.
There's no polite way to marinade. Get that into all the little slits and the cuts.
Into a skillet. Touch of olive oil.
Olive oil, okay.
And watch this, baby.
Cast iron skillet, good also.
Look at that. I mean, it's even the same shape as the Texas county.
Texas is a state. It's not a county. In other countries, they don't have states, they have counties, which is okay, or other provinces. But in America, Texas is a state. And the skillet is good. You can see that it's super hot, just like he had it with his grilled cheese, by the way. He had a super hot pan, added olive oil to it, and then put the grilled cheese in. And well, he's doing the same thing here with the steak. With the steak is a good thing. With the grilled cheese, not so much.
Beautiful. Nice sizzle.
I'm gonna get some onions in there as well.
Onion good? Uncle Roger always say, use shallot because onion for poor people. But this Texas breakfast, so okay to use onion.
If anyone knows where Gordon is cooking, let me know in the comments because I'm very curious. My mom is actually from Texas, but me personally, I've only been there a couple times. I haven't really seen the state. I'm from Arizona. Seeing like this big lake behind him and it's a little green is a little new to me. I've been in the parts of Texas where it's a little more deserty. In any case, whenever you're in the south, in the southeast, and you have a body of water like this and your back is to it, you want to be a little careful. I have had family in Florida and I've been to Florida a lot of times, and I'll tell you, I know it's not the same state, but still, the amount of like alligators or crocodiles that's just, you never know. You have to be very, very careful.
Big, thick slices of onions and get them in there.
Nice.
Garlic.
Garlic, good.
Garlic, literally down and just lightly.
Good smashing.
Don't turn that steak until you're ready, okay? Really important. Don't turn her too early. Take your time.
Correct. Don't turn your steak too early. You want it to form the burnt crust. That's the best part. But also, why his sunglasses so shiny? Gordon's sunglasses brighter than Jamie Oliver future.
The comments are never good old, do they? The old school of thought is what Gordon is actually saying. You do not want to keep flipping the steak. You want to let it cook. You want to let all the flavors like caramelize, all the sugars and everything in the rub. But Heston Blumenthal, with his steaks, has suggested in the past that you actually get a more evenly cooked steak by flipping it multiple times. Then again, that wasn't with the dry rub. But in any case, there's different schools of thought. If you do flip it, you just need to be conscious that you need to get color on the steak. You don't want to boil the steak because every time that you keep flipping, unless the fire is like super hot, it can drop the temperature and then you're not going to be frying.
You need to sear the burger. We don't broil it. How many times I told you to do that?
We've got a beautiful ancho chili, smoked paprika flavor coming out. Those onions are frying. Now I'm going to hit it with some butter.
Butter, okay.
Let's start caramelizing those onions.
Nice, nice. Butter gives onion and steak nice flavor. But notice how Gordon only put butter in middle of cooking, not beginning, because butter burn easily also. Good job, Gordon. No fuck up so far.
Well, I like Gordon, so we'll take it easy on him. He is doing a good job, but Gordon already did add olive oil to the pan, and now he's adding butter to it. Now, if you want the flavor of butter and you're afraid of burning it, you can continuously add little cubes of butter throughout the cooking process to keep the temperature down. Or what you can do is use oil. It can raise the smoking point, and that way it won't burn so quickly. Although if you do want to develop like a beurre noir or beurre noisette, which is like a brown butter or black butter, then you need to add butter to it and you need to get that color.
That's so good. Chop my scallions, and I want a nice sort of
Spring onion, nice.
the eggs. That is beautiful, right?
One of Uncle Roger's favorite ingredient.
In she goes. Now, lightly season them. And now we're ready for the magic.
Good.
We're gonna turn that steak very, very,
Okay, turning steak. Let's see how it looks.
top.
Oh, close up, nice. Look at how nice this steak look. The crust looks so good. Uncle Roger hungry now. Not bad, Gordon, not bad.
Now, if this was Jamie making this steak, I can guarantee you that Uncle Roger would say that he burned it. Because it is. It's a little on the burnt side. I mean, you do want to get a nice golden brown color on the steak. This is very important. But if you get it too hot, you can end up with this. And it's fine. Some people actually like it like this. But me personally, I don't like all the black bits.
Niece and nephew, this browning is called Maillard reaction. But don't be pretentious. Just say crust, no need technical term.
Now the thing is, when meat starts to brown, it develops flavor. When it starts to turn like a golden brown color. And in the kitchen, we're always told you want that golden brown color. And sometimes you have to get the pan super hot to achieve it. The problem is that if you go over that, you can start to burn the ingredients instead of caramelizing them. So you have to be a little careful if you don't want to burn it a little too far. But if your steak is like, it has no color on it, no, it's not good. You need to get a bit of color on it. It adds flavor to it.
In goes the oil. Always cracked on a beautiful flat surface.
Correct? Crack on flat surface. Gordon, you should crack egg on your forehead because that's the biggest flat surface Uncle Roger ever see.
Emotional damage.
Beautiful.
Butter good, seasoning good.
And then look what I'm going to do. I've got the greens of the scallions going to be cooked with the eggs. Okay?
He putting spring onion on the egg so it don't wilt.
Tips on the eggs. And then the base goes in to sweeten up those onions. And then literally before I take that steak out, got some cilantro.
Cilantro, little bit unusual, but maybe he making Tex-Mex style, so it okay.
I think Uncle Roger's right about this. Gordon seems to be making this a little more Tex-Mex. I wonder if he's going to be adding a salsa, like salsa verde or red sauce or anything. Also guys, real quick, if you happen to notice that Gordon has actually tilted the pan with the eggs in it, this is because the pan's a little big. So instead of the eggs like going everywhere, he's tilted it so they end up on one side of the pan and they're a little more like uniform, a little more together. Because what can happen in a big pan when you make sunny side eggs, and if the eggs are warm, is that they will literally go everywhere, the whites, and then you just end up with whites like this, and that's not very nice.
Some of my eggs, gently done, and the rest goes in over the steak. Now, look at those onions. Look what's happened to that steak. Look what's happened to that steak.
What happened to steak? The steak gonna get cooked, That usually what happen when you put shit in pan. It get cooked. There's no mystery there.
Normally when you work in the kitchen, you develop a lot of habits, and you know, it's like you're always asking someone if they're okay, and normally when you're cooking something, when you're teaching people, you always say, now look at that, look at that, look at that. This is one of those moments.
That is so beautiful. Eggs go on to finish off.
Good,
Nice and
good.
gently.
Egg look nice for you. Sunny side up and the yolk runny. Uncle Roger favorite.
Think of the spice, the heat, the coffee, the chili.
What is that? Is that lime?
We'll slice that.
Interesting. I think he really making
And
Tex-Mex.
then, look, hit that with the lime juice.
Good, he putting lime juice at end because heat kill lime flavor. Don't put too early.
Gordon is making more of a Southwestern style steak and eggs, which is perfectly fine. I really miss like Southwest ingredients and flavors and all the chilies and everything, because I'll tell you what, right now I'd eat this.
This comes out. That goes on there. Oh my God. Those eggs are beautiful. Now, when we come to plate this, what you do now is you peel back
Hiya, Gordon. Let the steak rest a few more minutes. Don't touch the steak that quickly after cooking.
What Uncle Roger means by this is that you need to let the steak rest. Normally you let the steak rest for more or less the same amount of minutes that you cooked it for. Because if you don't let it rest, what can happen is a lot of the juices will end up on the plate. And those juices, or what some people call blood if you undercook it, but it isn't, is actually a lot of flavor that you don't want to lose. So a good thing to do would be to let it rest for a few minutes and let it cool down, because otherwise it's going to be too hot to eat.
Look where that bone is. And I'm going to just take this beautiful eye off. But look at that. And that is pink. That's Peppa Pig himself.
What? Hey, Gordon. No spoiler for Peppa Pig, okay? Uncle Roger only on season 2. But the steak, perfect medium rare for you. Uncle Roger give you that.
And then beautifully just come down. Don't go too mad. You never slice a ribeye thin, ever.
Ribeye can be thick, correct? Beef or fur need to be very thin. But Western ribeye like this can be as thick as Lizzo.
Now, of course, it depends on what culture you're in, and it also depends on what you're cooking, because like Uncle Roger said, depending on what you're going to be making, you may need to cut it thinner. Although, with the way that Gordon's cutting it is fine. This is a perfect cut.
And then there.
Looking nice.
Open.
For you.
A light season. Just hit it with a touch of salt in there.
Use MSG, Gordon.
It doesn't look like Gordon has it, but what you should do, if you do, is use salt Malden at the end, because this salt has a lot of texture to it, and it will add a nice crunch to your steak or to your fries or to whatnot, and it's a better salt to use. So if you can get it, use it.
And all you do now,
Pepper good.
delicious eggs. You get a spoon.
Egg nice, looking nice.
Slide those eggs.
No, metal spoon or non-stick pan. Gordon, what you doing?
Oh.
No.
Now, believe it or not, in the kitchen, this happens a lot more often than you may think. Because we don't own the pots and pans, a lot of the time you don't really care, so you can do whatever you want with it. And believe it or not, but in the majority of restaurants, the non-stick pans are extremely messed up. Unless, of course, it's for the omelets, because those are special. But after a while, you'll see scrapes, you'll see marks. You should throw them out, but a lot of places don't.
Beautiful.
Oh.
The second one.
Oh, you hear that sound? Oh, that sound breaking Asian people heart everywhere. That sound caused so much fear in Uncle Roger's heart. You're doing so well.
There you have it. A stunning, beautiful ribeye, fried eggs, Texan style.
Food looks so good. It's delicious. Uncle Roger can smell it from here. But metal spoon or non-stick pan, you're just scraping the pan. No uncle title for you.
Overall, I agree with Uncle Roger with this, and he was also doing his research, so this is actually good. You know, Uncle Roger has some points here. Gordon did an excellent job. If you want to be super technical about it, for me, he burned the steak a little bit, and of course, using the non-stick pan with the metal, this isn't a big no-no. You don't want to do it. However, I do have to admit that it looked delicious, and if this was actually made maybe more over here in Europe, we'd probably add some fries with it. Not healthy, but it's tasty. In any case, guys, let me know your thoughts down below on how Gordon Ramsay did and what you would add to this, and also what you eat for breakfast, if you would have this for breakfast or more lunch or dinner. In any case, guys, have a great week. Thank you for watching. If you have any questions or comments, let me know down below, and any suggestions as well on what to review or what to cook next. Maybe we should cook this and try to make Gordon's recipe. That would be good, because I've never tried coffee with steak before. In any case, if you did happen to enjoy this video, give the video a like and a share. And if you do watch my videos, then don't forget to hit that subscribe button so you don't miss out on any future content. Don't forget to check out this next video coming up here, and I will see you guys again very soon. Until then, take care.